Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Please slowly take your hands and put it on your eyes. Masters, whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes and look at your palms. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Welcome all for today's topic session. Apologies, just a couple of minutes late. I was supposed to end it 10 minutes before, but got delayed a little bit. First of all, thank you very much and Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you guys, everyone is having a great time. You had great holiday time and a little bit of a breather to settle in for 2024 and kick off the movement for 2025. So thank you once again for taking time to join. So today we will start the topic session now. The topic that we left off last week or before that was about the aspects of attachment, right? How attachment is bringing sorrow or sin. Why is attachment sin? What does it mean? And how do I track that, from my own growth perspective? One of the key aspects that we started to look at, or maybe more so to understand, is my own perspective. Am I worried about the perspective of what everyone is looking at me, or am I looking at my own perspective the way I am living it? There is this fundamental question that is out there that talks about the ability as to how I perceive things versus how I have been told to do things, right? Two different aspects, two different perspectives, two different opinions, two different ways of life, ways of living, and the way of, whether it is a thinking or doing or feeling or whatever it is, right? I have my own way of doing things and others have different way of me doing things. So there is always this conflict that we get into when we are starting to understand as if that the very thing that's coming to me is not at the body level, at the mind level, at the intellect level, especially at the soul level, right? How do I take things into my hands and do things that are not part of the nature, that are part of the true nature that actually is allowing me to do or allowing me to flow in that rhythm? So where is that I'm getting stuck? Every one of us here on the call know that we have heard about this, the soul, the self, the aspect of what it means, the truth, and all of that. But when we start to realize it, when we start to bring that into our life, there is a gap. And how many of us are really spending time to analyze that gap and understand why there is a gap? Number one, what can be done to alleviate that gap? Why am I here? Every one of us know why are we here, right? Anyone would like to take a call on it? Anyone would like to say, why are we here?
To experience.
Experience. Okay. What else? Experience what?
We are here on a mission.
On a mission. Okay.
Purpose.
Purpose. Okay. What is the purpose?
We have to find out for what purpose we are here, to elevate our other lives from this life to other life.
Mm-hmm.
In elevation, I cannot put words. Like, yeah, elevate to elevate our mind, body.
Mind, body. Okay.
Spirit.
చేసిన కర్మల పాపాలు చెడు కర్మ గాని బ్యాలెన్స్ చేసుకోవడానికి, మంచి కర్మని పెంచుకోవడానికి.
That's the way of looking at it. So if you try to put this in a perspective, or if I individualize this, what is my purpose, right? There is always this short-term purpose that gives me as to why I took this life, number one. And there is a long-term purpose as to what I am, right? The junction between that is the way of living. How do I bring that into my life? Is ideally trying to understand what is my purpose in this life. That's a short-term goal. I'm trying to achieve something in this life that is of a greater importance, like knowing myself. Let's suppose you're knowing yourself, that you are, I am that I am, takes about 100 lives. You took this life, which is probably about 30th life or 40th life, whatever, right? And then you start to see, right, okay, for me to get to that longer goal, the higher goal, what is my short-term goal in this life? What do I need to do? Right? When you try to pinpoint to that aspect, hey, what do I need to do? Then you start to look at things to say that, okay, where do I get this information? Right? And scriptures are saying that, hey, I'm here, right? I'm here to tell you what you need to do to get there, to get to that longer goal. Every one of us are living this life as if that this life is going to be there forever and ever. Why is that? It's because of the ignorance of the higher goal that we all have to achieve. None of us understand or bring that thought process, right? The strong understanding and the thought process into our system to make sure that we realize, we just not talk about it, right? We realize, whether you talk about it or you feel about it or you think, or you do actions, whatever you're trying to do, all of that needs to come towards that greater cause, the greater goal, the higher goal, the purpose as to why you are here. And your step has to be towards that. It cannot be backward. Like, for example, you want to go to Tirumala. There are 1,000 steps that you need to get in. Okay. And every step is one life, let's suppose. What happens is every time you take a step from this life to next life, the next life has to be a much uplifted life. It cannot be a downsided life. It cannot be a digression. It has to be progressed. So you have to progress no matter what, in a way that you are still on track to go to your 1,000th step, which is where your goddess or godhood is there. So what is happening is, because I don't have that vision in me, I don't have that purpose fully clear for myself. So what happens? I live in this life as if that this life is there for me to do whatever I want to do. And for every life, we have been given a purpose. We know that. The question is how much of it you agree and how much of you are aligned in your day-to-day activities, that you understand your purpose and your work is towards that purpose. Today, we all realize that our purpose is to go and become God, right? There is no second to that. Every one of us understand here. We don't have to talk about it. But then when I try to bring that into my life, there are tons of things that are not in line. Why is that? Is the vision lost? Do we not understand the greater goal? Do we not see that the purpose of this life? Are we so, into this, this samsara, right? This family thing or relationships or whatever, that 1, 2, 3 things that are bothering us, that are not letting you to see the real, the big picture. What are we trying to do to fix it? So if you try to take a step back, always take a step back. When you're running 100 miles per hour in our daily course, we always have to step back and come to that reality. The reality is we are not running. There is no need to run. But yet we are racing. The only reason why that happens is I don't have the clarity of my big picture. I heard about it, I have listened to it, I have read about it, but I don't really see through it. Yeah, all great grandmasters are talking about it. the scriptures, the Vedas, Vedantas, everybody is calling about that. I have seen, Patriji and any other greater masters who have lived that kind of a life, but that is not for me. And hence, why I'm not saying that loud, though. I am believing it, that is not for me. My life, I've got so many things going on. I need to figure out ABC. I cannot be doing what they have done. For them, there was no family. For them, there is the bachelors. For them, they're all sannyasis. You will create hundreds and infinite permutations, combinations to excuse yourself from that state of you, what you are. Every one of us. No exceptions here. No exceptions. Unless somebody who is already enlightened. Right? Every one of us is on the same path, on the same lines, missing that fundamental point as to why is that I am missing truth in my life. There are two kinds of truth. We all understand the material aspect of truth, Vyavaharika Satya, and the real truth, Paramardhika Satya. Right? The real truth is what? The absolute truth. The relative truth, the absolute truth. The absolute truth is what we need to take into consideration here when we're talking about your state. It is not the relative truth. The relative truth may be there, may not be there. It doesn't matter, because that which is going to change is relative truth. It will always change. That which is permanent is absolute truth. That which changes all the time is relative truth. So I cannot comprehend this conversation to a relative truth, because that is what I am living today. I am in the relative truth today. So what does this relative truth give me? The sorrows, the miseries of the world, the suffering, nothing is working, the anger, whatever those negative things that we brought in, all of those things are carried with the relative truth because they keep changing. In one moment, my mind is happy. In other moment, the mind is frustrated. In other moment, mind is anger. In other moment, mind is sorrow. I'm going to deep agony. Why are these fluctuations? Why are these so many variations of mind coming in play? Because I am living the life as relative truth. So what does the reality talk about? Reality talks about your sense that you are in absolute sense, whether you are in the relative path or in the absolute path. You are supposed to be balanced, centered, calm. All three are missing in both aspects. In the spiritual aspect, I am missing it because I cannot sit in meditation for long hours. I'm not able to sit for 10 hours. I'm not able to really go into the state of void. I'm not able to bring that what I am looking for in my meditation. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. We are doing meditation, but what is the real essence of meditation? We have not got that exposure or experience yet. I am always looking for something to happen in meditation while I'm missing the very fact of what meditation is all about, right? What is meditation? Is becoming one. Being in that state of oneness is meditation. I'm not getting that. Relatively, on my material life, I'm not having that. So what am I missing? Anyone? This is a very deep subject that requires a lot of rigor and deeper sense of understanding. And then you have to also keep reminding yourself that this state of being is the actual state of being. That is the only thing that exists. Everything else is false. Why is that happening? Because I am missing the clarity. I don't have the deepest and the depth of the knowledge that I need to be able to grasp the concept of what this soul is all about, what this self is all about. And it is very granted that this soul or this self, what we are talking, is not something you can see. So believing on something that you cannot see with your eyes, you cannot hear with your ears, you cannot sense with your senses, you cannot feel with your mind, that's a bigger bet for us. Something I can see, I can really connect to it. Something I cannot see, I cannot connect. The way this is talking about is, hey, every human being is a God. And within that Godism, what do we have? You are a soul. When I bring that soul aspect outside and look at everyone else, yourself. In theory, this all sounds good. But when you put your perspective or your viewpoint into it, right, we get lost. And it's like, we are lost in translation. We are lost in communication. We are lost in experience. They're like, we are not able to bring that into our life and say that, okay, when I am living that life, when I am that, what I am looking for, why am I not in that state? The only reason is I lost the identity, right? We talked about it, the mistaken identity. I've lost that identity of who I am. And now I am feeling that I is the one doing all the work. Let's say I is your body, mind, intelligence, BMI, and I am is your soul or self. The journey to I am is meditation. Is that even happening to me? The journey in my relative life is to help me to get to that state. Is my relative life, the relative path or relative truth that I am living in the material world, is it allowing me to go into those corners? What is my priority in my life? Do I have on a day-to-day basis, how much time I am giving it to it? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about this in a very profound way, that if you have 10 priorities and one of the priority is for you to reach me, then you will never reach me. He says it very clearly, right? He says, if I am the only priority for you, if I am the only priority for you, then yes, you will reach that state. What does it mean? We should be able to let go of things that are material in nature for the greater cause. The question is, are we doing that? How much of that we are taking into confidence for our individual growth? Am I even? So the question that comes to mind is, okay, are you really doing every day in your life, checking, validating, and signing off, saying that, yes, today I lived the spiritual life. I worked towards my soul. I worked towards my goal. How many of us are really doing that? No one is saying that you live your material life. No master is saying that get out of your material life and go into seclusion and become, one with that and all that. Nobody is talking about it. They are saying that as long as your mind exists, everything exists. So, is it not in my own interest to make friendship with my mind? I am giving so much importance to the clothes, to the ornaments I am wearing, to all the material needs I'm trying to bring in. And this body is not going to stay. No matter how much I feed this body, how much I pray for this body, I do things for this body, I spend time for this body is going to go. That's the truth. So, if we really start to look at it, where should my time go to? My mind is going to be there even after I leave my body. Is it not obvious for us to start to understand that it is the mind that I need to spend time to, because it is going to stay even after my body leaves? And it is that mind that's going to create one more body for me in my next life. So where should my focus be? On the mind or on the body? My body and my mind are fed through my senses. As long as these senses are active, these sensors are operating, these sensors are providing information to me, I will never be able to get beyond that. And first of all, how many of us even take a point to say that, okay, I understand my mind, right? We can't even say that we understand our mind. There was a saying that, Patriji used to say, we are not the human beings out to have spiritual experience. We are the spiritual beings out to have human experience. He was so true on that. It all starts with your belief system. Are you believing that you are divine? Do you believe? The scriptures are saying it. The masters have said it. Every day at night time, in your deepest state of sleep, we are experiencing that. Where is my family? Where is my brother? Where is my sister? Where is my kids? Where are my kids? Where is my work? Where are my things? What is happening in my deepest state of sleep? I have lost connection to everything, every single thing. When I wake up, everything comes back to me. So this I am is in that deepest state. When you are that I am, you have lost connection to everything. You are nobody. But the moment I wake up in the morning, everything comes with it. So what is that that's waking up in the morning? And what is that that's going, and dissolving in the deepest state of sleep? Find that out. Then you will know who you are. Because when we saw about God, when we talk about, there is this idol, there is this avatar and all that, right? We may get lost because that is an outer experience. I don't experience. But what I am experiencing every single night in my deepest state is I am. I am experiencing my soul because through that soul, I am getting the energy. And that energy is what I am using for my entire day. So the experience that you are trying to look for in your deepest state, the awareness that you have in the deepest state, if you are able to bring that in your waking state, then you are enlightened. It is as simple as that. So the more and more we ponder on this truth, the higher and the greater it becomes part of our life. We are all so prone to listening to the information, to hearing the information, right? But what we are missing is reminding ourselves continuously of that state. That is what is missing. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Sakshatkara. The 4 steps. Shravana, hearing. Manana, remembering. Repeatedly remember it. Every day remember it. What you are, where you are, why you are here, what is your purpose, where you need to go, etc., etc. Whatever that is that you're looking for. Number 3, contemplation and meditation is a must. You have to be in seclusion for your mind to calm down. When your mind is calm, balanced, you will be able to go beyond the state. You will be able to even allow yourself to be in that realm of peace, happiness, etc. So every time I'm trying to bring this topic to myself, I'm conflicted to myself. It is creating more confusion to me than answering the problem, right? Whatever I'm looking for, I know the answer, but I'm not able to get to the answer. Everything in our lives seems to be going in a circular fashion. Oh, this is happening to me because of my karma. This is okay. Then I need to do this. Then this will change. How do you think it's going to change? What is that you have done that it is going to change? Why did it even come to you to begin with? Where is the clarity? We are missing the clarity. We are missing the sequence of events that went beyond, before, and during. The connections are missing. As long as we don't understand this big picture, it is impossible for us to get out of this state of phobia. Right? That's why material life is a vicious circle. Right? It keeps coming back again and again. Again, you will be living the same life even after 500 years. Because what is not going is the shift that needs to happen. That is never happened. The shift has to happen where? Not in my body. It has to happen in my mind. And how does that shift come to me? Only with the greater knowledge. With you bringing your divinity out. You bringing or you accepting that you are a divine personality. So every time we start to look at this and then try to put a perspective to it, we get lost in the conversation, lost in translation, lost in communication, whatever those are, right? So that is the reason it is important that we ponder on this truth again and again, again and again, again and again, until the point it becomes your daily habit. It has to be your daily routine thing. That the way you are eating food, like the way you are spending time for truth, searching for truth, doing things to get to the truth. Whether it is meditation, whether it is reading books, whether it is listening to masters, whether it is reading scriptures, or doing some seva, or going in satsangs, acharya sangatya, whatever those things that will help you to get there, you continuously have to keep doing it day after day after day after day. And at some point, you will start to realize a tremendous shift coming your way. It does not happen overnight, my dear friends. Persistence and consistency is key. You have to consistently keep doing the seva, keep doing the work that is spiritual in nature, so that you can control your material life to the extent as to how you want it to be laid out. Either you have the full understanding as to why things are happening to you, or you live in a miserable life. There is no two sides to that, right? We all know about it. Either I suffer or I don't. There is no between state. Why am I suffering? Because I'm ignorant. Why am I ignorant? Lack of knowledge. Why is lack of knowledge? I never took that as a priority. Why it's not a priority? I don't understand it. Why I don't understand it? Because I never ever set a tone to myself, set a time for myself. If you give time, it will come to you. You don't have time. We are racing 30,000 miles per hour, every one of us. So for those who are running in their material life, those who have busy life, those who are materially wealthy or materially occupied, I wouldn't say wealthy, I would say occupied, preoccupied, right? For them, knowing this absolute truth is going to be a daunting task. Because when your material life is so engrossed, so connected with so many things happening surrounding you, it is not possible for you to spend time to bring your spirituality, to bring spirituality into your life. It's just not possible, because it's like, this or that kind of thing. So what happens? Eventually, you will give up on your spirituality. You will get stuck in your material life, and you start to look at life as if that I cannot bear this anymore. And you start doing things, that are not of the nature. Whatever those things are. This vicious cycle is happening life after life, life after life, life after life. Because I never allowed anything to go into my mind to make that shift happen. If even to 1 second, if we all understand that the time that I need to give it to my mind is 100 times more powerful than the time that I need to body, then we will not be in this way. We'll be having a happy life. It is my mind that is giving me miseries. It is the mind that is making me all these things. It is the mind that's running around. It's 30,000, miles and all that, right? Everything is in mind, 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 mind. If I am able to shift that mind, everything else will shift. Whether it is, whether we are inculcating new habits or bad habits, or we are trying to get away from old habits or trying to get new habits, everything. When I talk about habit, when we talk about passion, when we talk about zeal, when we talk about that this is for me, I'm connected to this, all this is in mind. The true real self does not care for any of this. It only cares for you to be in that state. That's it. And in that state, the only thing that's left out is silence. There is no talking, there is no saying, there is no listener, there is no listening, there is no telling. Everything is one. There is also a misconception that is out there that if I get enlightened, I will not have any bodily alignments, misalignments, illness. Illness won't be there. My mind is pure. That is very, very false. Enlightenment does not mean that you will let go of your karma. You have the authority and power to do so, but you will never go against the nature. That's the beauty of enlightenment. When you are enlightened, you are not worried about your body, your mind, your intelligence, because your body is universal body, your mind is universal mind, and your intelligence is universal supra intelligence. When you are at that level, there is no individual I, individual BMI. So there is no question of you looking at your body saying that I need to fix this problem, I need to do that. If they want to do that, they can do it, but that's not their goal when you're enlightened. When you're enlightened, your goal is only one, universal brotherhood. Serve the universe the way you serve everyone else. Because through serving universe, you are serving your own self. Because there is no second thing. It's only one thing. So the more and more I start to bring this concept of or the theory into my life, the shift happens naturally from my relative state to my absolute state. This is what it is. I need to become more silent. I need to become more astral. I need to become more mental than physical. I don't talk now for sake of talking. I talk when there is only a need to talk. Right? You don't go into crowds. You don't go into parties. You don't go into unnecessary things where you disturb your state of being. Because now you are in the greater reality. That shift naturally comes. It's not like you're forcing yourself. That shift naturally comes. You have to let that happen. The flow has to happen. The more energies you're carrying from the self, the higher the way your life is going to start to transform. The only thing we need to do is we need to allow it to transform. That's where your logic mind kicks in and it tries to pull you down. Your others in the family or in the society, they try to pull you down, saying that it is okay, you can go do that. It's just nothing, It's okay, you can go eat garlic every day. No worries, man. Nothing happens. Again, you catch out through your senses, that takes in, gone. So when you have this firm understanding and your grasping of that knowledge is very solid, that I am is what I am looking for and that is my goal, and you work towards that day in, day out, you will never shift from that. It is not the power of you. It is not because your intention is so powerful. It is because the other side, the I am is so powerful. The moment you start to look at I am and you get little deeper in that process, like Krishna said, once you start to look at to me, you walk one step towards me, I will walk 9 steps and pick you up. That's what he said. I will pick you up. I come nine steps towards you. That is the power of soul. That which is running this entire universe, just imagine, it cannot pull you. But the condition is it has to feel that you are looking for it. It has to know that you only want that. You don't want anything else. You have to give that confidence and that commitment and dedication and willpower, whatever you bring all that. to your own soul to let it know that that is all what I need in this life. I don't need anything else. So the more and more we start to bring this knowledge into our life should become like a feather. You are just floating in your life. There should not be anything that should be bothering you. It is all the drama. It is all the drama. The dramas will happen in its own way. I don't care. I'm just a screen looking at it. You can put any drama on my screen. I will watch it. I will play it. I will do it. But I'm not attached to it. Because I know the drama will end in 2 hours or 3 hours. Similarly, if you bring that perspective, the screen that you are looking at is your soul. The drama that you're going through in your family, whatever you're going through here, is your life, is your family life. You know this life is going to end at some point, right? Let the drama happen on its own. You are the screen. Why do you connect to that? Let the hero do his thing. Let the villain do his thing. Let everybody do their thing. But you should not take anything seriously. Whatever may be happening, this drama should never be taken seriously. He says, Paramahamsa Yogananda, in one of these discourses, he talks about where he kind of complained to God, saying that, God, you have given us such a miserable life. You are having so much fun out there, and you threw us in this war zone, and we are fighting day in, day out. What kind of life is this? Why am I going through this? Then God said, why do you have to go through this? I gave you a beautiful life to lead. Why don't you understand what is the purpose of your life? Then he said, how do I know? God replied, that is all I am giving you every day in your sleep. I am reminding you every day in your sleep. Every day in our sleep, deepest state, we are in that state. The one that we need to be, we are in that state. But yet, when we wake up, we have lost it. So God is saying that every day I am giving you that experience. Every night you are sleeping, you are experiencing what you are. But yet in the morning, you are forgetting it. So go back into your state of sleep and find out what it is. Then you will know why I'm laughing, why I'm enjoying, why I'm happy. So the same thing applies to us. If I have to go find out myself, I need to know what is happening in my deepest state of sleep, that I am aware, that I am the one experiencing it. When I wake up, if somebody says, how was the sleep? I'm saying, yeah, excellent. Oh, so happy. I'm like, oh, so relaxed, so relieved. Oh, it looks fresh. Who is that saying? Where is that coming from? How do I connect that back to my waking state to make sure that I am already in that state? Why is that I am unconscious in that state when this whole thing is happening? So these are the questions that we all have to ask to understand how to bring the perspective of I am into our lives. Until we get this I am aspect into our life, till the point, right? It is going to be running around. It is going to be going through things. It is going to be figuring out everything matters. Small things matters, big things matters. Everything we will have, sorrows, miseries, suffering, everything will be there. And hence this knowledge is the most important. This is not PhD. This is PhDs to PhD. Because that which you cannot see, hear, feel, you are that. So whenever we start to question, what am I doing? Where am I going? Right? You are asking those right questions. Whenever you are saying that I'm tired today, I don't know why I'm running around in my life. I don't know where I'm going, what is going on. I don't know. I've lost the touch for myself. I'm just a mechanical engine, This body engine is going to drop someday. So the sooner we understand and align to this greater phenomena or greater experience of I am, the easier the life becomes for us. A person who is in the realized state will never look anything as a problem. He will look everything as lesson. Yeah, this comes to me and this goes. If this stays, it stays. It goes, it goes. So the question is, every day, in whatever way, how do I know that I am enlightened or not? If in any way or form you have small, medium, big suffering that's within you, anything that is bothering you, then you are not enlightened. You have liking, you have disliking, you are attached, you are non-attached, you are in the dualistic nature of activities. This is good, this is bad, I like it, I don't like it, I want it, I don't want it. All these things are state of mind playing you tricks. You are not enlightened. It is as simple as that. Enlightenment does not come. Enlightenment means no suffering whatsoever. Even your body is cut to pieces, you are not suffered because you are in that state of being. It is like your shirt has been torn down. Do you really feel? If it is an expensive shirt, you may say, hey, you know what's going on, right? Otherwise, it is not hurting you. Somebody is tearing off your shirt. Why do you shout? Right? You shout it because why they are doing it, right? You are curious to know why they are doing it. Other than that, it is not hurting you. You are in no form or fashion that shirt is you. Similarly, for soul, this body is like that. So why am I taking things so seriously that every emotion matters, every small thing says matters, every short things, every doing that I'm doing, every thinking I'm doing, every feeling that I'm bringing on, why is that such a big deal? We are so truly lost in our own self because I lost my connection to my true self. Why is that somebody saying something, I'm bothered, I'm worried? Why is that emotion coming to me and the emotion is bothering me? See, these questions are important questions for one's own progression. It's not like somebody should ask you this question. I cannot ask you this question, right? Saying that why is that this emotion is so bothering you that you are left your life behind this. Right? Everything besides you getting into the state of your soulhood, nothing should matter. Nothing should matter. Throw away everything. The life, the wealth, the relationships, whatever you have, all those things are only gonna come to some point. They can only help you to a point. They can only work for you to an extent. Beyond that, it is only yourself or the soul, the realization of the soul, that is going to bring you out of these miseries. Hey, this lifetime, I've got this body. Every body has got one unique problem, right? Every body will have its own unique problems. Every mind will have its own unique way of thinking. Every life, you have different environment. If I lose this life, not knowing self, I come back next year with a different environment, with same kind of, the surroundings may change, but the circumstances will never change because they are still stuck in my mind as implants. Leaving the body is not enlightenment. Leaving the body is not realization. Leaving the body is not liberation. Leaving the body means you are getting a new body. You are ready to get a body. You are bound to get a body. So the sooner I bring this knowledge and the sooner I start to accept this reality, what happens is slowly we start to bring that lifestyle into our system. You have to bring, there is a lifestyle that you need to adopt when you want to spiritually grow, right? There are things that you can do, there are things that you have to avoid, there are things that you need to take a step back, or there are things where you need to balance. You need to bring and look at all those things. That's why you always have to associate to a society, to a movement, or to an organization who is running this chain of things, for you to be able to start tracking as to how am I progressing, what are the principles, what are the ethical values that I need to bring on. Because without these disciplines, mind is all over the place. You will never be able to realize who you are. It will never allow you to go to the next step. It will put you in the body state all the time. So the more and more you bring this kind of thought process into your life, the shift will start to happen. And this is a big thing. I'm just saying it just so we kind of understand the concept, but that shift is the reality. That shift is happening. It's happening every moment, every hour, every day in our life. Whether we know it or we don't know it, as long as we are connected to that greater thing, the shift happens. See, right now in the awareness aspect, we are all physically aware. And some of you are maybe astrally, emotionally feeling some of these things, or some of you are mentally thinking about it, what I'm saying and why I'm saying and all that. But beyond that, nobody's going. So my spiritual body is out there doing something. My astral body is doing something. My mental body is doing something. Right? My intellectual body, intuitional body is doing something. I don't have any awareness of it. I don't know what is going on. All I am doing is I'm sitting physically and talking. That is not how it is. Everything that you are doing in the physical state, it has an impact in your astral, it has an impact, in your emotional. If I say emotional or mental or, intuitional or casual, whatever you're doing in your physical state has an impact. If I'm listening to music, then I'm going into fourth dimension, fifth dimension. Depending upon what type of music I'm listening, I'm elevating myself in that hierarchy. If I'm enjoying, if I'm doing a dancing, if I'm doing sports, you are in the third and fourth dimensions. And you can go into fifth dimension when you are deeply engrossed yourself in playing that sport. You're so totally involved in playing the sport, you're in fifth dimension. Why is that? Because you're bringing all that what you have into that particular thing, what you're doing in that moment. So what happens? Everything is active. In a similar way, when you are listening to a knowledge, right, don't think that it's only my physical level or mental level that's active. Even your spiritual body will be active, because this knowledge comes from there. The knowledge of I am, the knowledge of truth is actually connected to that spiritual layer. So again, it's all bringing together. It's all bringing all these concepts together, trying to understand how this big picture is going to look like. How do I take this life seriously? What are the things I should do, I should not do? Where should I put my focus of my day, of my life? If you ask me, for me, if you tell me, as an example, right? If you tell me that, hey, I'm doing a seva activity, can you be there? I will be there. Unless there is something going on that I cannot be there, I can't be there, but otherwise I will be there. Why is that? It's setting the priority. Similarly, when we call, hey, we are doing some activity here, can you guys come in? How many of us are you ready to drop everything what you're doing and come? You will come when you understand that this has a greater benefit than what we are doing. I'm sitting at home watching TV, somebody called, hey, can you come? Anybody can come, right? I can drop the TV and say, yeah, let's go. But you are doing some material work that is important. But then you got the spiritual work that is all more important. Serving the family versus serving the society. What is priority? Serving the society is priority, period. Serving the individual versus family, serving the family is priority. Serving the family versus society, society is the priority. Serving the society versus country, country is the priority. Serving the country versus world, world is the priority. Against the world, universe, universe is the priority. That's how the energies are. It goes all the way up the chain. In the first essence, I will start to know who I am. How do I get initiated into this truth concept of it? What does this mean? The basic questions that I have. Then you start to understand who yourself, right? Then you slowly start to understand your higher self, the monarch. Then you go beyond that state, right? You go beyond that state, then you look at, okay, what else is there in this whole thing, the solar system, the planetary aspect of it. Then the solar systems you start to look at. Then you start to look at the galactic activity. Then you start to look at the universal. That's 100% universal activity, right? What is happening? We are not even in the first stage of initiation, right? If you really look at the essential initiations, the first stage is to connect to this process as to what am I looking for. And once you start to look at that, then the second step is looking at your own soul. Understanding that you are a soul individual, you are not a body individual, right? Then you go into the next level, monad level, your higher self. The hierarchy goes, then you go into the planetary, the solar system, the galactic, and then universe, right? 7 levels. So the point I'm trying to get at is, as you start to deepen your understanding into some of these things, the energies will start to come your way so that you actually start to get greater knowledge of it. It is like, you're asking for one thing, you're getting 10 things. All you have to do is give this a priority in your daily life. Make this a routine. Make this consistently, do this without any breaks. In just matter of time, we all will start to realize who we are, what we are, why we are. There is a definition as to for everything, right? Hey, in the third dimension where we are living, there is no time and space, right? In the third dimension, there is time and space. In the fifth dimension, there is no time and space. What does it mean? Do I have experience? Right? So when we start to bring this knowledge into that state of experience through our meditation, through our channeling, through our own inner astral travels or third eye, or whatever those things that are coming our way, right? As you allow more of these things to happen, you cater more time to it, you'll start to see some of those things and you start to understand those statements are not just statements, they are in reality. They are truth in reality. I'm just not connected to it. Just because I'm not connected to it, I'm not believing in it. Every single statement that grand masters, know thyself, right? You are the master of your own life. You are God. All these are true statements. When I am God, why am I going through this suffering? Take one point, right, and ponder on it. Spend time on it. Try to understand why, when I am that, why am I going through this? Just correlate between this, that, and this. You will very soon start to realize what is happening. The identity will fall off. You will be in the real state. So we have got 5 more minutes, Masters. I would like to open it up for any questions you may have, and then we'll close it out. Any questions on the topic today? I know it is a very, very deep subject. It requires a lot of cycles to go to the depth of it. But go ahead,
I have one question.
please.
So, in day-to-day life, sometimes we have so many distractions that even though, like in my experience, I sit, I'm unable to concentrate, and after like few minutes or so, it's like I'm just giving up. How do I prevent that from happening?
So there are a couple of things, right? One is, if your mind is heavily chattered, okay, if my mind is heavily chattered for whatever reason, I'm going through things, then don't sit on meditation. Start, do some pranayama, breathing exercise, or do some omkara, do something that will calm your mind down a little bit, your thought process wise, right? Let it slow down. Once it slows down, then you go sit in meditation. Meditation works absolute.
Okay.
Don't when your mind is agitated or mind is overly thinking, if at that point you're going and sitting in meditation, you are creating more conflict. It helps if you are patient enough to sit. It certainly helps. You can do that. But if you feel like I'm not able to get it, I have this feeling that it's not working for me, then use another medium. There are other mediums, right? Omkara is there. You can use pranayama. Kapalbhati is very good to take you to the void state. You can do Anmol, alternate breathing is another way of looking at it. Deep breathing is another way of looking at it. You don't have to do all of them. You can count, 1 to 100 and reverse 100 to 1. There are a lot of techniques out there, right? That can help you to bring your mind, that fluctuated mind to a calmer state. And once you feel that it is calmer, then you start your meditation.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? Whether it's good or totally lost it.
Sir, it is always good when you say something, but it's just a lot of thinking to do.
Lot of thinking. Yes, I agree to that. I mean, we all have to spend time to our own self, think about what's our priorities and how do we bring, structure to it. How do we agree, disagree to things what are happening, individual priorities, family priorities, society priorities, whatever those are, right? So I think, yeah, I agree. All right, Master. If no questions, then let's call it a night. We will see you all tomorrow for our regular session. And then we are actually having a satsang at Navya Madam's place. So please do join us if you're locally available. Love to have you guys around there. We'll start at around 6 or 6:30, something like that. But anytime you are welcome to join us, and then looking forward to meeting you all there. Right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night.